What if the real problem after 75 isn't that you're eating too little protein, but that your body has quietly stopped using it? You could be doing everything right, eating chicken, meat, even protein-rich meals every day, and still losing strength. Let's talk about something most people never hear. And once you understand this, it could completely change how you think about aging. Because after the age of 70, and especially past 75, your body doesn't just need more protein, it actually becomes resistant to it. In simple terms, your muscles stop responding. Yes, really. You might finish a full protein-packed meal, feel full, feel like you've done the right thing, but inside your body, very little of that protein is actually being used to maintain strength. This has a scientific name. It's called anabolic resistance. But don't worry about the term. Here's what it really means in everyday language. Your body is getting the nutrients, but it's not listening to them anymore. Think of it like this. You fill your car with fuel, but when you press the pedal, nothing happens. That's exactly what's happening inside aging muscles. And that's why so many people say, I'm eating well, so why am I still getting weaker? It's not your fault. And more importantly, it's not something most doctors clearly explain. But here's where things take a surprising turn, because once researchers started studying this more closely, they found something unexpected. It's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about how your body processes it. And this is where certain traditional foods start to stand out. Not expensive supplements, not complicated diets, simple, time-tested foods that have been used for generations, and in many cases, they actually help the body use protein more efficiently, even better than large portions of meat. Let that sink in for a moment. In some studies, older adults were able to maintain stronger muscles while eating less protein overall, simply because their bodies were absorbing it better. Less effort, better results. That's the shift. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 powerful traditional foods that can help your body absorb nutrients more effectively, support muscle strength, and most importantly, help you stay independent as you age. And make sure you stay with me until number 2, because it's something people in Japan have relied on for centuries, and many of them remain active, mobile, and sharp well into their 90s, even past 100. Before we dive in, if you care about staying strong, steady, and independent after 60, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because here, we focus on simple science-backed strategies that actually make a difference. Now, let's start with number 5. And this one surprises a lot of people, because it doesn't look powerful at all. Food number 5. Miso. You may have heard of it before, but most people don't realize just how beneficial it can be, especially later in life. Miso is a traditional fermented soybean paste, used in Japanese cooking for over 1,000 years. But this isn't just another healthy ingredient. It works in a completely different way. Here's the key. As you get older, your digestive system naturally slows down. Your body doesn't break down food as efficiently as it once did. So even when you eat well, you might not be absorbing everything your body needs. But miso changes that because it's fermented, which means the breakdown process has already begun before you even take your first bite. Helpful bacteria have already done part of the work, so when you eat it, your body doesn't have to struggle as much. It's almost like the food arrives, partially prepared for absorption. That means easier digestion, better nutrient uptake, more effective use of protein, and that's exactly what aging muscles need. Research has shown that fermented foods like miso can increase how much protein your body actually uses, not just what you eat, but what your body absorbs and benefits from. And there's something else most people don't realize. Miso is also rich in vitamin K2. This nutrient plays a critical role in where calcium goes in your body. Instead of allowing calcium to build up in your arteries, K2 helps guide it into your bones where it belongs. The result? Stronger bones, better mobility, lower risk of fractures, all from something as simple as a warm bowl of miso soup. And the best part? This is just the beginning. Because the next food on this list works in a completely different way and might be even more powerful when it comes to preserving strength. What if one of the healthiest foods you eat every day is barely helping your body at all after 70? And the mistake? Almost everyone makes it without even realizing. Let's talk about something very common, something most people feel proud eating. Spinach, leafy greens, sag. You've probably heard it your whole life. Eat your greens there. Good for you. And that's true. But here's what most people don't understand. How you eat them matters more than the greens themselves, because after a certain age, your digestion changes. It slows down. Your stomach acid weakens. Your ability to break down tough plant fibers drops. And here's the issue. Raw leafy greens have strong outer cell walls. They're not easy to break apart, so when you eat a raw salad, especially later in life, your body often can't fully unlock the nutrients inside. So what happens? You eat the salad? You feel like you made a healthy choice, but inside your body? A large portion of those vitamins simply pass through. Unused, wasted. That's the part no one talks about. But here's something interesting. Traditional cultures figured this out centuries ago without labs, without studies. In places like India, the Mediterranean, and parts of Africa, people rarely ate their greens raw. They cooked them lightly, gently, and almost always with some form of fat. Now this might sound simple, but it changes everything. Because when you lightly cook leafy greens, you soften those tough cell walls. You make the nutrients more accessible. And when you add healthy fats like olive oil, ghee, or even coconut oil, you unlock another level of absorption. In fact, research has shown something remarkable. When greens are lightly cooked and paired with fat, your body can absorb certain vitamins 3 to 5 times more effectively. Same spinach, same ingredients, but a completely different outcome inside your body. Now here's where it gets even more powerful. Leafy greens are rich in vitamin K1, and earlier we talked about foods like miso that contain vitamin K2. These two work together. Think of them as a team. They help guide calcium into your bones, instead of letting it build up in your arteries, which means stronger bones, better mobility, improved heart health. But that's not all. Leafy greens also contain natural compounds called nitrates. Now don't confuse these with harmful processed nitrates. These are the beneficial kind. They help your blood vessels relax and widen, which improves circulation throughout your body. And why does that matter? Because better circulation means more oxygen reaching your muscles, better blood flow to your brain, more steady. Natural energy. Some studies have even found that older adults who regularly eat properly prepared greens tend to have better memory, better movement, and overall stronger physical performance. All from something so simple. So how do you actually use this? Keep it easy. No complicated recipes, just small changes. Start by washing and chopping your greens. Heat a couple of teaspoons of olive oil or ghee in a pan. Add some garlic, not just for taste, but because it brings its own anti-inflammatory benefits. Then add your greens. Cook them gently for about 5 to 7 minutes, just enough to soften them, not too long. You don't want to destroy the nutrients, just unlock them. And before serving, add a squeeze of lemon. That small step helps your body absorb iron more effectively. Simple shift, massive difference. And now, let's move to something many people used to swear by, but modern diets have quietly pushed aside. Something your grandparents probably trusted without question. Bone broth, and what I'm about to show you next, might completely change how you think about strength, joint health, and recovery as you age, because this isn't just food. It's one of the closest things to natural repair your body can get, and in the next part, you'll understand exactly why. What if one simple daily drink, something your grandparents trusted without question, could quietly reduce joint pain, improve movement, and even help you sleep better at night? And yet today, most people have completely stopped using it. Let's bring back something powerful, something traditional, something your body actually understands. Bone broth. Now, this isn't your typical soup. This is something much deeper, much slower, and far more effective, especially as your body ages. In fact, while modern diets have moved away from it, science is now starting to confirm what older generations already knew. This wasn't just comfort food, it was daily repair. Here's what makes it different. Bone broth isn't rushed. It's not cooked in minutes. It's simmered slowly. Sometimes for an entire day, even up to 2, and that time is everything. Because as those bones gently cook, they begin to release something incredibly valuable. Collagen, essential minerals, and powerful amino acids, all slowly infused into the liquid. What you're left with is not just broth. It's a concentrated source of nutrients your body can actually recognize and absorb with ease. And this becomes especially important after 70, because your body starts losing something critical. Collagen, this is one of the main building blocks of your body. It supports your joints, your skin, your connective tissues, everything that helps you move freely. But with age, your natural collagen production drops, quietly, gradually, and you start to feel it. Joints don't move as smoothly. Stiffness becomes more common. Recovery takes longer than it used to. Even simple movements can feel heavier. This is where bone broth steps in, because it provides collagen in a form your body can actually use. Not like many supplements that promise results, but often pass through your system without much impact. This is different. It's natural, it's complete, and it's highly absorbable in fact. When bone broth is made properly, it forms a soft, jelly-like texture when cooled. That's not just a texture. That's a sign of rich gelatin, a form of collagen that's especially gentle on your digestive system, meaning your body doesn't have to struggle to break it down. It can put it to use almost immediately. But there's something even more interesting inside bone broth, something most people have never heard of, an amino acid called glycine. Think of glycine as a quiet helper inside your body. You don't notice it directly, but it supports some of your most important systems. It helps calm your nervous system, which can improve sleep quality. It supports your body's natural anti-inflammatory processes, reducing internal stress, and it plays a role in producing something critical, glutathione, one of your body's most powerful antioxidants. Now, here's the important part. As you age, your glutathione levels naturally decline, which means your body becomes more vulnerable to inflammation, slower healing, daily wear and tear, but glycine helps support that system, gently, naturally, without forcing anything. And when people start adding bone broth back into their routine, they often notice something subtle but meaningful. In one study, older adults who consumed bone broth regularly over several weeks reported less joint discomfort, smoother movement, greater ease in daily activities, not from medication, not from a complicated routine, but from something as simple as a warm cup each day. So, how do you make it? Keep it simple. Start with high-quality bones, ideally with some marrow. Place them in a large pot, cover with water, add a splash of apple cider vinegar. This helps draw minerals out of the bones. Then let time do its work. Chicken bones simmer for about 24 hours. Beef bones, up to 48 hours for maximum extraction. When it cools, you'll notice that soft, gel-like consistency. That's when you know it's rich, it's ready, and it's powerful. A simple habit you can follow. 1 warm cup a day, best taken on an empty stomach. This isn't just another food. This is support. This is repair. This is nourishment your body recognizes instantly. And in the next part, we're going to talk about a small food, one that many people overlook, but delivers a complete package of nutrients in every bite. And once you see what it can do, you might start adding it to your daily routine immediately. What if one small, inexpensive food could quietly deliver everything your body needs after 60 protein, calcium, vitamin D, even brain-supporting fats, all in a single bite? And yet, most people either avoid it or completely underestimate it. Let's talk about something simple, but incredibly powerful. Sardines. Now, I know, this isn't the most exciting food, and many people ignore it just because of how it looks. But here's the truth. When it comes to supporting your body as you age, few foods come close. Because sardines are different. You don't just eat part of them, you eat the whole thing, and that changes everything. Most foods only give you isolated nutrients, but sardines deliver a complete package. You're getting high-quality protein, natural calcium, vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin B12, essential minerals, all working together, not separately. Let's start with something critical after 60, calcium. As you age, your body doesn't absorb calcium as efficiently as it used to, and many people try to fix this with supplements. But here's where things get tricky. Calcium supplements don't always absorb properly, and sometimes they don't go where you want them to go. Instead of strengthening your bones, they can end up building up in your arteries. But calcium from real food behaves differently. In sardines, calcium comes from the tiny, soft bones, and it's naturally paired with other nutrients your body needs to actually use it. Things like phosphorus, vitamin D, trace minerals. This combination helps guide calcium into your bones, instead of letting it settle in the wrong places, which means stronger bones, better balance, lower risk of fractures, and that's just one part of the story. Because sardines are also rich in something your body desperately needs as it ages. Omega-3 fatty acids. These are powerful compounds, especially EPA and DHA, and they play a huge role in controlling inflammation inside your body. Now, here's something important. After 70, your body often enters a state of constant low-level inflammation. You might not feel it directly, but it slowly affects everything. In fact, scientists even have a name for it, inflammaging, and it's one of the hidden drivers behind muscle loss, joint stiffness, brain fog, fatigue. But omega-3s help calm that process. They support your brain, protect your joints, and help preserve muscle strength over time. And here's where sardines become even more powerful, because they don't just give you omega-3. They give you protein and omega-3 together. And when those two are combined in the same food, your body responds better, stronger, more efficiently. Research has shown that older adults who regularly consume omega-3 rich foods tend to maintain muscle mass longer and perform better physically. So instead of taking multiple supplements, you're getting everything in one place. Simple, natural, effective. So how do you add sardines into your routine? Keep it easy. Choose sardines packed in olive oil. Place them on whole grain toast. Add a squeeze of lemon for freshness. Or mash them with avocado, creating a soft, nutrient-rich spread that's easy to eat and digest. And most importantly, don't remove the bones. They're soft, they're safe, and they're where a big part of the benefit comes from. A simple habit you can follow includes sardines about 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. No complexity, no expensive routine, small food, but a massive impact on how your body functions over time. And now, we move to the final part, because the next food is something almost everyone already eats. but very few people truly understand, and once you see what it does inside your body, you might start looking at it completely differently. And honestly, it might be the most important one of all. What if the most powerful food for staying strong after 75 isn't meat, isn't fish, but something simple you've probably been eating your entire life and never thought twice about? Let's talk about the final and arguably most important food on this list. Lentils and legumes, dal beans, chickpeas, simple foods, affordable, often overlooked. But here's something fascinating. When researchers studied the longest living populations in the world, places where people regularly live into their 90s and even 100s, they noticed a pattern. Across completely different cultures, different countries, different lifestyles, one food kept appearing again and again. Lentils, not supplements, not expensive diets, just consistent traditional eating habits. So what makes them so powerful, especially as you age? It comes back to something we discussed earlier. After 70, your body doesn't respond to protein the same way. Your muscles become less sensitive, less responsive. So when you eat fast-digesting protein, your body gets a quick surge but doesn't fully use it. A lot of that benefit lost, but lentils work differently. They release protein slowly, gradually over several hours, and that gives your body something it desperately needs. Time to absorb, time to respond, time to actually use the nutrients instead of a short spike. You get a steady supply, which means better efficiency, less waste, more consistent support for your muscles. But that's only part of the story. Lentils also contain something very special, resistant starch. Now this doesn't behave like regular carbohydrates. It doesn't get digested right away. Instead, it travels to your gut, where it feeds your beneficial bacteria. And this is where things become incredibly powerful, because those bacteria produce compounds that reduce inflammation, strengthen your gut lining, support your immune system, and even improve how your body absorbs minerals, including calcium. So now your body isn't just getting nutrients, it's becoming better at using them. And that's the real shift. Lentils also provide key nutrients that many people start lacking with age. Folate, iron, magnesium, potassium, these support heart health, muscle function, blood pressure balance, stable energy levels, and here's something worth thinking about. In long-term studies, people who regularly consumed even small amounts of legumes daily had a noticeably lower risk of early death, not from a complex plan, not from expensive routines, just from one consistent habit. So how do you prepare them? Keep it simple. Start by soaking them for a few hours. This helps reduce compounds that can interfere with mineral absorption. Then cook them slowly. You can even use bone broth instead of water. Adding an extra layer of nourishment, add garlic, turmeric, cumin, not just for flavor, but because they support digestion and help reduce inflammation. Cook until soft and easy to digest. Finish with a drizzle of olive oil and a squeeze of lemon. Simple, effective, sustainable. A habit you can follow. One bowl a day, and now, step back for a moment, because what you've just seen isn't random. These 5 foods work together. They form a system. Let's quickly bring it all together. Miso helps your body absorb and use protein. Cooked greens gives unlocked vitamins and improves circulation. Bone broth supports joints, recovery and repair. Sardines deliver complete, highly usable nutrition. Lentils provide steady strength and gut support. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small, add one, then another, and over time, you may start to notice something powerful. Moving feels easier, energy feels steadier. Your body feels more responsive, because aging isn't just about getting older. It's about how well your body continues to function, and the choices you make daily shape that future. If this helped you see things differently, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And tell me in the comments, which one of these foods are you going to try first? Because your health truly is your greatest wealth.